Imagine a life where money flows easily and abundantly to you, where all your financial dreams are within reach. It might sound too good to be true, but what if I told you that there's a simple yet powerful method to manifest the wealth you desire? According to Neville Goddard, you can create all the money you'll ever need using just 3 simple steps. And in this breakdown, I'll show you exactly how. Let me begin with an insight from Neville himself, and I quote, "There is nothing God cannot do. Do not think that one who is fabulously rich has an influx of spirit that differs from yours. He's imagining wealth, either wittingly or unwittingly, but you can do it knowingly." What he's saying here is profound. The difference between you and someone who's incredibly wealthy isn't luck or divine intervention. It's about how they use their imagination. And the best part is, you can learn to harness this power too. Neville doesn't just talk about these techniques in theory. He shares real, powerful stories to show you what's possible. One such story is about a man who needed $250,000 to kickstart his business, but it was the worst time financially. The economy was in shambles, the stock market was crashing, and everyone around him was panicking. This man, however, had a vision for his business, and he needed that money desperately. So, Neville shared a powerful technique with him. At first, the man struggled. Every time he imagined the money, he couldn't detach from the overwhelming negative news. The weight of the world seemed to be on his shoulders. But Neville suggested a change in approach. He asked the man to imagine that he already had the $250,000. Instead of focusing on the lack of money, he was to act as if the money had already come. Neville and the man began a mental rehearsal where they both imagined a phone call had already happened, with the man calling Neville to say he had secured the money. They didn't just stop there. They continued to mentally hold the feeling of having that money, even after the imagined phone call ended. They acted as though it was already done. Amazingly, after practicing this technique, the man received a phone call that would change his life. An investment broker who had been researching his business called him and offered the exact amount he needed, the $250,000. It gets even better. After securing that initial sum, the man started gaining momentum. Friends began calling, and before long, he had raised an additional $100,000 through investments. In total, he manifested $350,000. This story perfectly illustrates Neville Goddard's teaching. There's nothing God cannot do. Do not think that one who is fabulously rich has an influx of spirit that differs from yours. He is imagining wealth, either wittingly or unwittingly, but you can do it knowingly. The same technique that worked for this man can work for you too. If you're ready to take control of your financial future, start by consciously imagining your wealth as though it has already arrived. Visualize the scenario where you receive the money you desire, just like Neville's student did when he mentally rehearsed that phone call. It may feel a little strange at first, but remember, imagination is the key to manifesting reality. So, if you're ready to call money into your life, leave a comment below saying, "I call money into my life." This small step is the first part of shifting your mindset and stepping into the wealth that's waiting for you. Your imagination holds the power to change your financial reality. Just believe in it and start using it intentionally. By imagining wealth consciously and knowing that it's already yours, you'll begin to see your reality shift in ways you can't even imagine yet. If you're feeling stuck or frustrated with your progress, don't worry, don't get upset. Sometimes, all it takes is a small shift in mindset, and suddenly, things start to fall into place. Imagine being able to manifest a massive amount of wealth effortlessly just by changing the way you think. One small tweak could open the door to unimaginable abundance, like a $350,000 breakthrough. And if you're looking for help with that shift, I have a free tool, a success hypnosis that helped me reprogram my own mindset around wealth and success. You can access it below, and it's designed to help you step into that financial reality faster. Neville Goddard, a profound teacher, emphasizes a key idea in manifesting wealth. To be conscious of being poor while praying for riches is to be rewarded with that which you're conscious of being, namely, poverty. What does that mean? It means that simply wishing for success without embodying the feeling of already having it will keep you stuck in a state of lack. To truly attract what you desire, you must assume the feeling of the thing you want before it shows up. This isn't as hard as it might sound. The concept is simple but deeply transformative. If you want to create the wealth you desire, you need to claim it as already yours. Don't just pray or hope for it. Feel it as if it's already happened. Neville teaches that there are two realities: the presence of what you want and the absence of it. The key is to focus on the presence, not the lack. If you're constantly aware of the absence, you'll only attract more of that absence into your life. The trick is to shift your consciousness toward the presence of what you want, not the absence of it. This idea hit home for me when I was trying to grow my YouTube channel. I did everything I could. I visualized, I used the law of attraction, I read Neville's teachings, and I worked hard. But here's the catch. I was still focused on the lack. I kept thinking, I hope this channel takes off. Why isn't it happening yet? The more I thought about the absence of success, the more I remained stuck. I was pushing toward success, but from a place of lacking it. That's when I created what I call the record player technique, inspired by Neville's congratulations technique. Here's how it works. You choose a scenario that would happen if you already had the success you desire. For me, I imagine refreshing my YouTube page and seeing my video go viral. I'd picture jumping up and down in excitement, my wife cheering me on, something specific that anchored me in the feeling of already having achieved it. You can do this too. If your goal is to sell your house, imagine shaking hands with a real estate agent and celebrating with your family. If it's about getting a raise, picture your boss pulling you in and congratulating you. These visualizations move you into the feeling of already having what you desire, so you're living from it rather than hoping to get there someday. Neville also says something incredibly powerful. You need money? No, you don't. All you need is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is the core of manifestation. Assume the feeling that your goal has already been achieved. Even when your senses deny it, persist in the assumption. It's this persistent assumption that will eventually shape your reality. Your external world, including your bank account, is simply a reflection of your inner state. So, if you keep focusing on the shadows, the empty bank account or the lack of success, that's what you'll keep experiencing. But if you shift your attention and focus on the feeling of abundance, that's what will eventually materialize in your life. So, it's not about waiting for circumstances to change or striving endlessly. It's about shifting your internal state, assuming the feeling of having already achieved your desire. If you persist in that assumption, it will solidify into reality, like a shadow cast by the light of your attention. By focusing on the presence of your desires, rather than the absence, you'll find that the world around you begins to change accordingly. If you're ready to make that shift, remember, it's not about what you're doing, it's about how you're feeling as you do it. Start living from the success you want, and the results will follow. Unlocking the power within. Reimagine your self-image to attract wealth and success. When you take the time to explore your inner world, you're tapping into a powerful source of transformation. This practice doesn't just change how you feel about yourself, it changes everything around you. Confidence, empowerment, excitement. These feelings are the foundation that creates a ripple effect in your external world. As you shift your inner self-image, you begin to attract new business opportunities, partnerships, bigger paychecks, and a flood of possibilities. But remember, this shift isn't about waiting for the world outside to change first. It's all about transforming your inner perception, because as Neville Goddard famously said, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. The key isn't trying to change others, because the people in your life are simply reflecting the beliefs you hold about yourself. Instead, revalue yourself, and the world will mirror that change back to you. So, here's what I invite you to do. Take a moment to grab a pen and paper and get real with yourself. Ask yourself, what do you truly believe about yourself? What memories, experiences, or stories have shaped your current self-concept? What were you told growing up that might have cemented a certain view of who you are and what you're capable of? This is the foundation for your self-identity. Neville calls these beliefs shadows. They're often based on past experiences and may feel fixed, but they are far from permanent. If you want to shift your financial reality, think about the earliest memories you have around money. For example, maybe you grew up in a household where money was always scarce. Or, like me, you might have struggled in school, leading to a belief that you weren't smart enough or capable of succeeding in areas like business or writing. For me, I struggled with a bad memory, was diagnosed with ADD, and struggled through school. I felt stupid and anxious, traumas that follow me into adulthood. As I began my career as an author, I carried these beliefs with me. You can't focus enough to write. You're not smart enough to be an author. These negative self-concepts tried to sabotage my dreams at every turn. But here's the breakthrough moment. I realized that these beliefs were just illusions I had accepted, and by facing them head-on, I could rewrite the story. This is the power of Neville's revision technique. You can literally reimagine your past. Instead of dwelling on the times I failed or struggled, I started to imagine a new version of my story. I pictured myself succeeding. Imagine the best version of myself as an author, acing tests, overcoming challenges, and stepping into my full potential. You can do this too, especially when it comes to your financial self-image. Neville said, "There is nothing God cannot do." Don't believe for a second that someone who is wealthy has access to a different kind of power or spirit. They're simply imagining wealth, whether consciously or unconsciously, and you can do the same, but with intention. You can manifest your desires by focusing your mind on prosperity and abundance. Here's a simple challenge for you today. No matter where you are financially, shift your focus entirely to prosperity. If you're in debt, stop thinking about it. Don't dwell on bills or your current bank balance. Instead, visualize your life overflowing with wealth. See the numbers in your bank account growing. Imagine that feeling of freedom and abundance filling every area of your life. See your dream home, big checks coming your way, and opportunities opening up for you. Don't doubt the power of your mind, and most importantly, don't underestimate the power of God or the universe. By aligning your thoughts with the energy of prosperity, you can create a new reality. Trust in the process, and, as Neville teaches, the outer world will reflect the inner change. So begin today. Change the way you see yourself. Transform your self-concept, and the world around you will shift accordingly. The power is already within you. It's time to step into the new you, one that is wealthy, abundant, and unstoppable.